Welcome to Not Drinking Alone. I am Renako coming to you live from Nakano Studios in Tokyo. We are in late March and still winter weather. I would like to show off my legs under some sakura blossoms, but I don't know when that's going to happen, so we're just going to have to keep grinding it out with this cold weather. Either way, it's fantastic to have you here with us. Remember, if you're watching this show and you're by yourself, you can grab a drink because once you're with us, you are not drinking alone. I have a fantastic guest for you today. Before we get into the guest, I just want to bring you guys some word from one of our new sponsors, Yellow Chew. I know you've heard a color before, Chew before, and there are so many of these products out there, right, that are all trying to do the same thing. They're trying to make you stand at attention. They're trying to make the Mr. Salute the Flag. But what about the people who just want to sit down and relax, you know? Sometimes the soldier comes to work when there's no job to be had. You ever been sitting on a bus and suddenly breathe in some cold air unexpectedly, and now you're standing hard like a tent pole, and all of a sudden you're suddenly the bus pervert guy. Now you can't ride public transportation anymore, and your neighbors don't want to talk to you. What if there was a pill you could take before you left the house every day that would prevent you from ever getting an erratic boner? And that's what Yellow Chew is here to do for you today. And if you log on to Yellow Chew's website, they'll deliver it discreetly to your home. Once again, use the code NDA at checkout for a 10% discount on all Yellow Chew products. Yellow Chew, life is hard enough. Let Yellow Chew make it soft for you. And let's get to it. All right, so I am here with Andre Cunningham, aka Piggles Di Gaijin, if you know him as a content creator,
right,
aka Dreamazin, if you know him as a dancehall artist, aka, according to him, that nigga who name they never put on the flyers when he's supposed to be MCing at your party. But if you are around Tokyo, if you're around Roppongi, if you're online too much, which everyone is, then you know Andre.
Yeah, you should. If you don't, then you should. Follow me, Piggles Di Gaijin, on Instagram, YouTube, all them things there. Just follow me.
All right. So welcome to Not Drinking Alone.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to officially have you on the show.
Right. Thank you so much, Renaka, for including me in so many of your endeavors, bro.
No worries. Anytime. You always show up. You always put the work in, and I always respect that. The last time we would have done anything recording-wise wasn't even like a full Not Drinking Alone. It was during Corona where I did a live, and I realized that lives are not for me because I drink way too much by myself. I drink more when I'm by myself than when I'm with other people. Hence, not drinking alone. Exactly. So it's been a while since then. A lot has happened. So let's start off with a toast first.
Okay.
Quick kampai. Thanks for coming to the
Kampai.
show.
Thank you.
For Piggles, I pulled some Urakasumi, which is maybe the first sake I ever tried and liked because it's actually from Miyagi, the first prefecture I lived in Japan. So there's a little bit of like, you know, sentimentality. Yeah, nice. Maybe you will. I don't know. Do you drink a lot of sake?
Not really.
All right. Well, we'll see. It'll get you drunk either way. So whether you like it or not.
I like it or not.
Kampai.
The clink.
One of my favorite stories to tell, not favorite because the situation wasn't great, but an interesting story to tell is the way we met for the first time. You want to swallow so you can
pause. Yeah. Yes, the first time was interesting.
You want to tell what do you remember about the first time?
One of our mutual friends drove from Miyagi, stopped in Nagoya, that's where I used to live at the time, and we headed down to Osaka for Golden Week. I don't remember the exact details, but we were partying, and he wanted somewhere. He said, I have a friend I can stay with. I don't know if he told you how many people were coming at the time, but it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us.
But before that, the story that I heard fully before that was we are going to a party in Osaka, and I was supposed to come help you guys navigate it because I know Osaka.
Right.
And we never found the party. Like to this day, we might still be looking for that dancehall party.
That's true.
Osaka. We never found it.
We walked all night. But the interesting thing is that white dude, the promoter, that came up to us and said, "Hey," and Rodaka spotted the rake from jump. Like this guy is on something. I want to
Oh
tease
yeah, the
something.
man who was smelling. Oh yeah. Oh okay. I know. I'm not like as you said it. I immediately remembered him, and then after that, as I got more into comedy, I saw that guy a lot more. So I need to be careful not to say his name because he is someone who is known. But he was smelling that night.
Yeah, but
Yeah, and he was on something.
yeah, he definitely was. And then we had some random pan chicken, jerk chicken from a truck or something.
Oh yeah, that was outside Ghost. Big up Ghost one time.
Ghost.
Oh, should we be bigging up Ghost? No, I don't know if I should or should not. Because I know people who still work with them, but I know people who've had like shit with them. Whatever. That's not my problem. Big up Ghost, I guess. I've dropped a lot of Hennessy there.
Yes, Japan is really in love with Hennessy.
I haven't been to the club in so long though. Do you still enjoy it? Because you're like at the club really often. You're MCing, you're playing. Like, do you still enjoy it?
Not that much. Only when there's actually like maybe a very lively type crowd of my type of music. Because I do all mixed parties as well. So sometimes there's a lot of EDM, a lot of top 40. So it can get a bit muddy if there's no soca dancehall or it's not really that nice.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
We be way off sidetrack. So we meet up in Osaka. I go to try to help you guys find this party. We do not find the party.
Up to this day.
Right. Up to this day. And then all of you end up coming back to my place.
Right.
Now on the other half of that is me now finding out that my grandmother just passed. And
oh damn.
Chris messaging me to be like, hey, I'm coming through town. And I was like, you know what, whatever, I'm gonna put you up. And then having a million people come through my space. And this is the loudest nigga that you would ever meet in your house space.
Yes.
He loud when he sleep. He loud when he walking around.
Jesus.
He loud when he in your kitchen rattling all your pots and pans.
And also don't go in his kitchen, okay? That's what I learned. I learned that the hard way. He just Ronaldo went from laughing jokey to snap. Hey, don't you dare touch my don't go in my temple. I'm like, wait, what? You don't touch anything in here. I'm like, all right, sir.
I don't like how he making it sound. Can I talk about the fact that it's wild that you would just go into somebody's house and start rifling through shit in their kitchen?
You know, I think my friend's wife said to me, said to his wife said to him, hey, that's Andre just going to our fridge when they come in? I'm like, yeah, I guess so. I'm part of the family now, so.
Yeah, but not on my first visit,
I know.
bro.
No, yeah, that's I think I was out the pocket. I was out the pocket.
And every time he tells his story, he tries to make it sound like I'm this kind of like fastidious person, which I am. I'll be honest. Like a lot of times, I am quite like, hey, this is the way this is supposed to be.
I don't.
Especially in my space. Because when I'm outside in other people's spaces, I tolerate their shit. Okay. So I'm in my space. But in that situation, that was an unfair characterization.
Yes, that's true. That's true. I was wilding. I'm a wild person, and I'm very random too. And I guess when people get used to me, they understand who I am. I don't mean harm, but yeah, I was wild still.
But even the fact that I tell you about it actually is me being more comfortable, because most if let's say I was just like I don't fuck with you at all, you come into my house and you do that, I would eat the discomfort. And then you'd never speak to me again. Right. Yeah, I'd just find a way to avoid you forever. Because I was like, the only conversation I'm going to have with this guy is that I don't like him. So I'm going to just avoid you. If I tell you it up front,
that means...
Yeah, me and you can rock.
Okay.
Because I view you as a person who it's worth navigating that discomfort for.
Okay.
But that was like a crazy time to meet them. It was...
Golden Week?
It was Golden Week, yeah. And I would have been working because at that time I was working.
Yes, you were. You had work the next morning.
So it was 2 nights.
2 nights.
So the first night was when you couldn't find the place, and the next night we just stayed out.
Yeah.
I came back in because I was also drinking my sorrows because my grandmother had
you
just
took us
passed.
to that awesome spot. Was it a yakitori spot you took us to?
Yeah.
Bro, he knows good food.
In Osaka, I've been struggling to find places in Tokyo. I'm gonna be real with you.
Oh, word?
Yeah. I've been struggling to find because there's a very specific thing that I like. There's a very I like a very specific vibe, which is it looks old and run down, but there's a lot of care put into it. And there's a lot of shiny without a lot of care in Tokyo, and then there's old and run down that's just old and fucking run down. And then the places that kind of meet that in between are like ancient places that cost a lot of money. Yeah. For me, I still... In some ways, it's kind of like, you broke up with that girl. I left Sendai, but you're still trying to... You decided you didn't want to be with her, but you're still trying to recreate some of the situation with other people. It's a little bit of that for me.
Oh, nice.
You are out in...
Chiba.
In Chiba.
Yeah.
Right? But you come here a lot.
Yeah, Tokyo, yeah.
You're in Tokyo very often. How do you stand that, though? Like, why don't you just move to Tokyo?
That is a question people have asked me since I moved to Chiba. Apparently, I was talking to a Pele the other day, and he like a
Big up Pele one time. Boop boop.
boop, Ghanaian brother. We literally were talking. I said, Dre, what are you doing? Like, he said, "Yo, what do you want? What do you want to do?" And I started thinking. He said, have you actually thought about what you want to do, and have you put plans in place to execute this? I'm like, shit, I've been just sitting down, thinking. I have loose plans. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna move to Tokyo next year. I think there's also a fear. I didn't process it, but there's a fear of me moving into Tokyo. I'm pretty said, oh, Piggles, shut up, dog. You're moving to Tokyo from Chiba. You're not like moving to Japan from Jamaica.
I do get it though. I do get it, especially when like the rest of the world outside of your space feels kind of frantic at times. Like for me, when I leave my door, the moment I step out, I'm like, oh, I'm in Japan now. When I'm at home, I don't feel like I'm in Japan. You know, I've set up things in a way where I don't feel like I'm in Japan. But from the time I leave my door, so it's kind of important to me, like where that space is. So I do understand that energy on some level. You and I, and you in your content, a lot of times you discuss like stuff that you've experienced in Japan and negative things that you've experienced. So I thought it would be fun and a bit funny for us to try to find a top 10 best things about Japan. Like,
easy.
Not complaining.
Easy.
Top 10 best things about Japan.
Simple.
All right, okay.
I
Let's
can
go.
go
10.
I must do 10 and you do 10, or we doing 5.
You're doing 10 and I'm just going to run commentary.
Oh, easy. 10, let's see. Safety for a black man.
Safety for a black man. Okay. Question. Do you find sometimes the safety thing is a little bit overrated? Like, I wish there was a little bit of crime and vibes.
Sometimes there's something. I walk around anywhere. I go out at 3 a.m. to the convenience store.
Also, how do I say this? The more I live here, the more I realize the role that crime and violence play in a society in terms of
keeping you sharp and situationally
I'm
aware.
so happy that I didn't need to finish that by myself. I don't sound like a crazy person. I was on a bus and I saw a guy. We were waiting. The bus was waiting to cross the train tracks, and when the train thing goes up, a guy is crossing the train tracks. You're crossing train tracks. You're on your phone.
Right.
You're surrounded by people, and you are walking direct. You look up and realize mid whatever game you're playing, you are walking into a bus. Now I'm not saying the bus should have hit him, but
it wouldn't have been a bad thing.
The bus didn't hit him, and he might do it again.
So he won't learn.
But if the bus had hit him...
Yeah.
So 10, the safety, which we have debunked that the safety is a good thing. Well, I have at least.
Transportation.
Very
reliable. In the metropolitan areas, generally reliable.
Generally reliable, but then stops way too early.
Are we going positive? Oh, you're the commentary.
I'm commentary. Yeah, you don't need to fucking chime in. Let me do that. Yeah.
Yes. Transportation reliable.
Okay. Transportation ends too soon. Because the reason I like that the transportation is reliable is that I can go out and get drunk. That's the whole thing, that I don't need to drive to a party like I have done, and I'm not supporting doing this. I'm just saying that I have done this. Drive to a party in the north of the country, get drunk, drive to KFC, buy a 3-piece, and drive home while eating a 3-piece and sobering up.
That is life, though.
No, it's not life. You should not drink and drive.
A cup soup.
But I was listening to a Kanye album and I was just fucking whipping. But at some point I hit, like, there was like a hump in the highway,
and then you sobered right up.
I slowed the fuck down. Like, I felt the car in the air and I was like, all right, let's stop playing. I'm just can't tell me nothing.
I'm telling you something. That's just
the road told me something.
Slow down,
and don't drink and drive, kids.
Yeah, don't drink.
All jokes aside, when you drink and drive and you're driving fast, everything that happened is luck, and luck is not always repeatable.
True. But
look at me, I'm so responsible.
Today, you're responsible today.
I'm responsible in this mode of my life, and I want to share that with people as much as I can. Okay, but the transportation is a big boon, though.
Yeah.
I do like, for me, the part of it that I love, and one of the things that have kept me in Japan is that I don't need to depend on people to move.
Yes.
Like, you don't need to be like, okay, who's using the car, or who car is blocking my car, or okay, we're going to this place, I'm going to be too tired to drive to come back. Who's going to come with me so I can drive? No, it's just like, train.
Yeah.
Ferry.
Yes.
taxi.
Ferry?
Oh yeah, I ferry. I like ferries in Japan. A nice little. Like, I ferried to Hokkaido. I've ferried to Oita.
How is that? Like the experience, like the seat, it's like a train. Like how does the seating, like the is it compartmentalized? Like
You if it's I've only done overnight ones.
Ooh.
And I lie. I've done did one from Nagasaki to Kumamoto, which was just like a 2-3 hours if I recall. And on that one, it's just like it's like an open seating thing.
Oh,
it's almost like if you're in kind of like a food court, kind of if you can
imagine
it that way.
Oh, it's a
food
big
court
food
is
court.
a bad description, but there is a big
it's
space.
Open.
It's
Okay.
the ferries are big spaces. The ferries are big open seating spaces.
Does it also have space for cars as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the overnight ones you can get a cabin.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah. And they are not particularly expensive. At the cheapest level, which is extremely cheap, you can actually do like shit. It's almost like a hostel where they just give you a mattress, so you just have somewhere to sleep.
Oh, okay.
And then on what is not much more in terms of money, the upper level, you can then get your own room.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
I've never been on a cruise because black people don't do boats. I was told.
Stop believing. Listen,
No, we love yachts.
Listen,
and we love beach parties.
People don't know what they're talking about, and black people are included in people. So I don't listen to people. I go see. We're doing it one last time for our OG sponsor, myfavoritehole.com. Listen, sometimes life doesn't go the way that you planned it. So what if My Favorite Hole lost their criminal case and their civil case? And according to the law, they have definitely been using leftover DNA from returned piercing equipment to make clones and drones, which they then sell to manufacturing and packaging plants. That doesn't mean that they didn't start off with a mission to give you the best at-home piercing experience that you could get. And now that they're being forced to shut down, you have 2 weeks before their website disappears, 2 weeks to log on there and get that piercing equipment and jewelry at ridiculously discounted rates for yourself. So it's no longer a get it and then send it back, because if they do that, the entire board will immediately be arrested. But what you can do is log on there and buy some piercing equipment, buy some jewelry to own and continue on your at-home piercing journey. Listen, My Favorite Hole is still committed to its mission, even though it will no longer exist after 2 weeks. Please, I am required to say that by law. After 2 weeks, My Favorite Hole, both the website and company, will no longer exist. But while they are existing, they are committed to their mission. My Favorite Hole, let your favorite hole be the one that you made in your body. Take that power away from God. Now let's get back to the show. Yeah. So what were we on? This is number 9 or number 8?
Number 9.
Saki's hitting real
2.
Fast.
So we did transportation and safety.
Okay. Still not enough to really make someone move to Japan, but yes, positives. I'm glad to be getting this. This is my plan, to pull this out of you.
Okay.
You do a lot of criticizing, which is fair. I don't think there's a problem with it at all, by the way. But I was like, all right, let me get a little spin on it. So far, 2 top things. Piggles Di Gaijin, his number 10 and number 9. Good things about Japan.
Safety for black people, black men. I say black men deliberately because it's a story for black women. And transportation.
Okay, let's go to number 7.
Number 7, the architecture.
The architecture.
Interesting architecture.
Tell me about your interesting architecture.
All right, so when I actually did technical drawing at CXC level, which is the Caribbean Council of Exams.
So if you go to the Caribbean, you'll see a bunch of people in school uniforms walking around with a wooden T-square. And once I had to do a monologue as Toussaint Louverture, the Haitian revolutionary, and I was angry with my parents, so I didn't ask them for help with the props. Mm-hmm. So all I did was get a T-square, and I unscrewed it, and I moved the horizontal bar down, and I covered the rest of it in foil.
I made a sword.
And my costume was very shitty. And my mother came to the show, and she was very upset because everyone else had a really nice costume. But it was their fault for letting me be upset with them and not checking in They didn't check in. Like this, I had Monster prepare for this show and they didn't check in.
I see. So
I've been ignorant for a real long time.
No, I feel you're really ignorant.
I'm upset with you, so I'm gonna do this shit by myself. I don't care how it turns out for a real fucking long time.
And it still continues today.
Because I've gotten better at doing shit by myself. That's it. I didn't learn to deal with people better. I was just like, just get better at doing everything
by yourself,
which has been fantastic.
Mm-hmm. And then I got into architecture school, Caribbean School of Architecture.
Oh fuck!
I got into it, but I didn't go.
Why not? Why didn't you go?
I went to the University of West Indies instead.
That's what you did instead, but why didn't you go to architecture school?
I don't know. I preferred. I wanted to do actuarial science, math. Stupid decision. Very stupid decision. But yeah.
Architecture, actuarial science, teaching English in Japan. You definitely followed your dreams. Kids, you see what happens when you derail yourself early in life? It's possible you're never gonna catch back on.
That's crazy, right? So did that, and so I looked at it and I saw the temples and the shrines, and then of course the modern buildings, skyscrapers. We don't in Jamaica we didn't have skyscrapers when I was growing up. Okay. I don't think we have now, but we have taller buildings now. But the skyscrapers and the juxtaposition against nature. It's really interesting for me. So especially like when the temples are in the middle of big cities like Asakusa, it's just you're walking in the city, boom, big temple. Wait, what? So it was interesting for me. Yeah.
Okay, so we're on 6.
6, Jesus. 6. They have really good tourist attractions, like just things that you won't find anywhere else in the world, like let's say like how the shopping districts are set up, like Dottenbury Street or the road in Glicoman, Shibuya Crossing, which
I
is
feel like you've been in Japan for too long with that. You won't find anywhere else in the world.
I'm trying to be positive, leave me alone.
Yeah, but you could have just said it was good. You didn't have to do I say you just repeating shit that Japanese people have told you now, because like you won't find it anywhere else in the world.
Why are you calling me out on my positivity?
I want you to be honest, because I will be
honest.
Be honest. Stop repeating shit that Japanese people have told you.
I was going to say my number 5. My number 5 was we have 4 seasons. Why would you leave me alone? Is this guy calling me out? Are you calling me out?
Very much so.
I'm not happy about that.
It's like you know it's like when they say Japanese soba is so good. Yes, because soba is Japanese. Like you don't need to put the descriptor on it. You don't need to put the fucking descriptor on it. And of course it's better than it is in other places because you made it. How is this a fucking talking point? How is this a conversation? What are we talking about?
Sushi. Oh. You want me to go off?
And I went to America. And American sushi and Japanese sushi is so Yes, the thing that you invented, you do it better than other people.
I mean,
this is not a discovery.
I mean, I would hope. No, but people actually argue online. No, actually, American sushi is much better. All right, shut up, stop. Okay, fine.
But once again, as you said, this is the difference between us, right? Mm-hmm. You engage with the opinions of idiots. I am just like, oh, yeah, cool. Well, idiot's gonna idiot. So I am not even gonna... Why would I clock that opinion of that person who has possibly never left their country?
Doesn't have a visa. Or a passport.
Or a passport.
But they studied East Asian studies in the university, so they know. They know.
Anyway, back to being positive.
Right.
Positive list. So number 5. Top 5. Let's stop doing just across the board shit you've heard. Mm-hmm. Let's reflect on your time in Japan. How long have you been here?
I've been here 10 years in
10 years. Okay, let's reflect on your 10 years and let's try to find things that you think really have, All
right, when I just moved here, the exchange rate was really good.
Okay.
I'm being honest. That's one of the things that really. So when he sent back like maybe 30 for Jamaica, sent back 30,000 yen. That was like 50,000 Jamaican dollars.
Okay.
So that could do stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay.
For exchange.
So since then it's fallen, right?
Oh Jesus, it has fallen.
Okay, is it still a little bit in your favor or just?
Nope. I sent some money home the other day and it was less in Jamaican. I cried tears. Kishida, please fix it.
That's wild.
It is sad. Jamaicans everywhere are crying out.
Because isn't that like a thing? Like every time Jamaicans and Trinidadians get into an argument, the first thing we attack is your currency. Like that's what we go for.
I know it's getting stronger.
That's what we go for. So
if
the currency where we joke how much money you guys spend for bread is now stronger than Please, I'm not trying to start a fight. I'm just saying what people say.
Caribbean wars
say,
is a very real thing. Caribbean wars,
but
Trini,
if
Bajan,
if
Jamaica.
if that is
The case, I might have to go back home now. That's what people are doing. People are just going back home. So that was one when I just came to Japan. Also, it was Japan helped me to discover a lot of things about myself. So I learned a lot.
So that's number 4. That's number 4.
Yeah.
Japan helped you discover yourself. That's a good one. That is a good one. That is a good one.
Learned a lot about myself, and it actually Japan has actually enhanced in terms of conflict.
Yeah.
I have become averse to that.
Yes.
I don't know why.
Yes.
I went back home to Jamaica. Stop arguing with parents. Like, okay.
You know why? I think it's because I've noticed in Caribbean and Black societies that there's this idea that if you lose a conflict, you lose something.
Yes.
And then you move here and you lose every fucking conflict that
regardless,
you're in.
right? So
and then nothing changes.
And you realize
it literally does not matter, and you don't need to hit that person.
Right. And you don't need to be upset. Okay, mommy. All right, cool. I'll do it. Fine. And they're like, wait, Andre, what happened? Like, oh, Andre, watch this. I'm like, oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, because once you rein in your emotions in that space, like, of course, I would argue sometimes that they rein in their emotions too much, but there is definitely a positive to that Japanese.
You save energy. You actually save a lot of energy.
Yeah, I think it's entertaining on one end. It's entertaining. It's fun, but there is a lot of that. What are we spending all this fucking energy on?
Yeah.
So help avoiding conflict. I want to go back to what was number 4. So that was 3.
Discovering yourself.
Go back, discovering yourself.
Yep.
What do you think you've discovered about yourself in Japan that you could not have discovered about yourself in Jamaica?
So all right. So in Jamaica, when I left Jamaica, I didn't realize how much I was the glue, like many organizations that I was involved in. When I left, I want to toot my own horn. When I left, everything just went to shit, basically.
Big Andre, what you gonna do when he leave? You better hold on to him when he here. In Japan, all they wanna treat him, all they wanna treat Dream Mason all how, all they wanna treat unnamed MC on the flyer all how. I hope you all know this nigga the glue. Alright, sorry.
Yeah. So things just went sideways for most things. My choral group, church, some other church, youth retreats and renewal stuff just went away. And I didn't know.
Let's go back to your choral group. Hit us with a little.
Do you hear this? Do you hear this?
What kind of music did you guys do?
We sang Christian music, gospel.
Okay, what was your favorite gospel track back in the day?
Back in the day, Family. It was a song by A Worthy is the Lamb. I was a tenor.
How's that go again?
I can't sing it with my voice. So it's Worthy is the Lamb. See, you hear my voice?
And you're saying when that voice left, the group fell apart?
No. Yeah, I knew you were doing it. I was working last night, so my voice is really trash. But you can check out my tracks on Spotify, Dream Amazing, with actual fully vocal stuff. So I used to sing.
So you discovered that Jamaica needed you desperately, and without you, the entire country would fail. However, the economy has been doing better since you left. How do you respond to those accusations? That since you left, the country of Jamaica's currency has gone up in value because you left. How do you respond to those allegations?
Well, I respond by saying those allegations are false.
Okay,
and
why?
I deny them vehemently.
Yeah, but you
and wait,
and no, politician spinning. I need to explain why.
And
it's not your fault.
It is not causation. It has to be something. There may be correlation, but there's no causation. So you can't say because Andre left Jamaica, as a result of him leaving, the exchange rate went in positive favor.
But the burden of proof is on the person who said when he left Jamaica, things started falling apart for his groups. And I would say one of your groups is Jamaica. You are Jamaican. And Jamaica has been thriving with it in your absence. So I would like you to qualify your statement, you know?
Boy. All right, fair enough. You got me there. You got me there.
This supposed to be funny. I feel like I broke you down.
No, I'm not broken. I'm not broken.
This supposed to be a funny bit.
This is the Caribbean thing that we have to deal with, guys. All right. If you're not strong here, you die, and that's what Japan can't break. That's Caribbean spirit.
Yeah, years of trauma forcing you to build walls that help you deal with anything that life throws your way.
That's right.
Why don't you get broken down until you're nothing and then learn to deal with stuff too? Caribbean.
Grow up with Caribbean parents, you learn quick and fast.
Yeah. Do you want to be around emotionally stable people?
No.
Be around adults who can't control their emotions. That'll teach you how to deal with not only your emotions, but the emotions of the people around you.
Drink rum and you'll be okay.
Yeah. Alcohol is the solution. We're doing it again for our brand new sponsor, Yellow Chew. All these products on the market that are here to help you stand at attention, but sometimes you just want to sit down. You know what I'm talking about. You just want to chill. You want to go out, relax, and not turn into a sex pervert. You know what I mean? And sometimes your body not really on that same mission as you. So sometimes we've got to get something in there to help us rein in what Mother Nature wants us to do, because we are the masters of our own body, and with Yellow Chew, you can do that too. Yellow Chew, pop one at the start of the day. It's going to prevent you from getting erratic boners that you didn't plan for throughout the day. And hopefully it wears off by the time it comes to nighttime, in case you need it. And if it doesn't, well, then there's products on the market for that as well. You know, a little bit of A, a little bit of B. Let's mix it up inside our bodies. You know, let's do a little bit of weird science. Yeah, but grab Yellow Chew today. Save yourself these awkward situations. Yellow Chew, life is hard enough. Let Yellow Chew make it softer for you. Okay, so we're back and we are with Andre, Piggles Di Gaijin, Dream Mason, who's about to give us his top two positive things that he has found about Japan after a decade of living here. And let's take it to him. The number 2 is going to be so fantastic. It's going to make you want to come live in Japan. And if you already live here, it's going to make you want to double down on your visa. Number 2.
That's a lot of pressure. I'm going to say something that probably, I don't know, should I even put this out here? Should I? What do my parents even know about this? So,
I'm going to lean back so I can edit myself out if I need to.
I did some really bad things. But good for my own development as a human being, but kind of bad on the moral compass side. But I won't talk about this in this video because I want to preserve this.
You're not helping the broadcast right now with being vague. Can you answer the question? What is number 2 positive?
Number 2 positive thing. To be honest, a lot of people always talk about it being overrated. I actually don't mind the food. The food is pretty decent. Is that why? To me, the food is pretty decent.
So food. That was the number 2. I bet you want to come to Japan now for some shabu shabu. All right. Number 1. The number 1 thing that Piggles has found to be positive about Japan in his decade of living here. He did not plan this answer thread out well. So
I didn't think so well.
Now he's thinking that number 1 should be the best thing, but he did not think about it before.
No, I didn't think about it. All right. For those, if you want, if you cannot get a girl in your home country, you definitely get a girl in Japan.
I don't know if...
Wait for it, guys. Wait for it.
So you're saying you couldn't get a girl in your home country,
so
you came to Japan?
No, I got girls in Japan.
Or you're just so supportive of people getting girls.
Yeah.
That seeing it happening around you.
Seeing these very mid, very, very rubbish, trash looking.
Choose a different word. We are welcoming of all races on this podcast.
Seeing some persons who generally society would dictate that they are not the most affluent or the most attractive persons are pulling some baddies by Japanese standards.
Are they pulling back? Thank you. Once again,
I had to preface it. Baddies in Japanese.
But you know what I've done to kind of offset that? Thinking that whole... I recently heard there's like a slang for it, like losers back home, like LBH bullshit.
LBH, yeah. Oh, yeah, you see it?
Yeah, but you know what I've done to kind of realize that whole concept is bullshit?
Uh-huh.
All you do is put the girl that they're with up next to hot girls from where you're from. And you realize, oh, this is exactly who this fucking person would have ended up with. There's just more of them bitches to find out here. It's really not that complicated.
That's
it's just
true.
Mid came to a place
where
with a lot of mid. And I'm saying, and the funny thing is, that's not, I don't even mean it as an insult, because if we take the word mid to just be average is that's actually bad. People strive to be here. So it's that's not even an insult.
True. Yeah. That's pretty. I know what is wrong with being average. Let's be honest, guys. Let's cut it. Not everybody can be above average and great. So if you hit average, you're not doing half bad.
And that's been a motivational message for you from Andre Piggles Di Gaijin Cunningham. Why aim for more?
Just get there. To be honest, I mean, the loser back home thing is just another thing that people say just to say.
Yeah, even if it's a real thing, I don't see what is the value. You going to the point where you need to point that out about other people, where that's important to you, immediately makes you a loser in my eyes. And I would say I don't think my measurement for what would make somebody a loser is not necessarily the same as the rest of society. But also, I don't need to be the rest of fucking society.
You see to be you.
Exactly. So from the time I see that that's like a point of pride for you, I'm just immediately like, all right, cool. You're so cool.
Oh, you are the cool one. Point out that this guy's a loser.
You're so cool, and the loser guy is like a huge loser. Now, if I need to point that out to someone's face while they're trying to rile up on me and trying to give me the wrong fucking energy, and I let them know, what's what, that's a different situation.
Right.
But for me to go out of my way to make this kind of blanket announcement is unnecessary.
I think it comes from a place where these guys feel exalted. So let's say, and I have the term charisma man, which is what they say, right? Because a lot of these guys
also don't have charisma, by the way. They just say whatever they want at the wrong time, but
and get away with it because he's blonde and blue, blonde hair, blue eyes.
Also, I would say to a certain extent, there's black people that get away with that bullshit also because he looks like a rapper. He has the exact rope twist,
like
shoulder length dreads that everyone is doing with it, and tipped blonde. So it's I'm not even making it a race thing, but listen, if you like it, I love it for you. Just stay out my fucking face. And as a matter of fact, I am not in your face. I'm staying home, so I don't need to deal with you no more.
Right, I ain't not drinking alone, so that's
Yep, it. Just come to my place and drink, and that's it. Okay,
yeah.
So the number one on your list is if you're thirsty and your thirstiness is not working well in your country, you can come to Japan.
Quench your thirst.
And as a person who has had like a 11-month, multiple year-long dry spells in Japan, if you have any kind of standards, that is not necessarily true. Just letting you guys know, that's not necessarily true that it's gonna come falling in your lap. Eh?
You might have to work for it, and you might have to find some very compromising.
Yes, and you're gonna have to do 10 work for a 5, so you might as well stay where you are.
He's so mean.
I'm not mean. I'm just saying, like, the amount of work that you have to put into cross-cultural barriers and all of that shit. If you're thinking about coming to Japan for women, you might be putting in the effort for a 10 for a 5. The effort you would use for a 10 in your country. And once again, this is not like judgment on saying like one girl is this and the other girl is that. Right. It's just a matter of you've then added like cultural barriers to it and a bunch of other things. So I don't know. I don't know that anyone is necessarily winning in that situation, you know? People might be doing what they prefer to do. Right. Or maybe what works better for them. But you should probably figure that shit out before you move to a whole new country, because a lot of people come thinking that they're winning and then...
Waifu.
Thank you. And then... And then waifu, but then turns into divorceu, and then turns into I can't see my kids.
And then you end up in a zoo. Never mind, sorry. Kisada zoo. pigeon ching. You know, that's why Ronaldo, I just get to be my Caribbean random self around Ronaldo. I can talk crap and then he calls me out and then he makes a punchline about it.
All right. So before we wrap up, I like to always have like a little bit of a discussion with because most of the people I talk to are
Right.
expats.
Right.
We talk a little bit about loneliness. So the first question I have is on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
1 being the lowest. How often do you think you're alone by yourself?
As in, not with other foreigners or just by yourself in general? People
By
in
yourself
general?
in general.
So 10, whew, I am alone. Maybe let me see, 5, 6.
He wanted to do actuarial sciences, which is a type of accounting. You see that math work that's happening in his head?
Yeah, I was trying to take the present value of time spent over. Anyway,
All right. All right. Let's stop with the equations. So you
Yeah.
got a 5 or 6.
a 5 or 6.
So around 50% of your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And how often would you say, same scale, that you feel lonely? Or that you wished for company?
Oh my God! Probably out of that 50%, 90% of the time.
90%
Yeah.
of the time.
So 9
Okay.
to 10.
Before I go down that way, one more question.
Mm-hmm.
How often, whether around people or not, do you feel isolated?
25%.
25%.
Yeah.
So when you're generally, even when you're with people,
Yeah.
you feel like you're
Yeah,
okay. You're part of
but
the
then
group.
sometimes you look at moments
okay,
you're like,
okay.
okay.
So 90% of the time you feel lonely when
Yeah.
90%
When
of
I'm
the time by yourself.
Yeah, so like 45%. Sorry.
So what do you do? What do you do to then offset that feeling when you're feeling it? What do you do to offset that feeling?
I reach for my phone and probably try. Like I literally, so my sleep cycle is kind of messed up. So
I can.
basically, if once I got to Japan and then started working, I work in the evenings.
Yeah.
So I work from like 3:45 to let's say 10, roughly. But then of course the commuting time to go and get back home. I get home like 11, eat a little food. I try to keep up with what's happening in the West because obviously we're 14 hours ahead. And then by the time I'm settled down and I message some people, it's 3 in the morning. So for me, the lack of community, especially people that can reach to within a 5-minute thing, is really big for me, and I feel that loneliness. And
Okay, that's where it comes from.
yeah,
Okay.
And for messaging, I can't jump to my friend's house in 10 minutes. One of my closest friend, I have to jump on a train, to jump to a train 20 minutes, and then he has to pick me up at the train station. So that don't happen.
Okay.
And my other closest friend, which is DJ Heat Robert, is an hour away. So it's really hard. So I can wake up dead in my apartment, and nobody knows until 3 days later when the company says, "Oh, where's this guy?"
All right. So I've been kind of looking at the time, and I
Yeah,
wanted
sorry.
to try. No. But the reason I had to interrupt you is that's part of the reason why I quit teaching, by the way. So casually,
Yeah.
just and in a school talking to the teachers, we're clearing the blackboard after
Yeah.
a lesson, and we're just talking about the past teacher, and she's like, "Oh yeah, we found him dead in his apartment. He had been living in Japan, did that same thing, got married, divorced,
Jesus.
and was just like a ALT at the school."
Yeah.
And one day they called him and he didn't show up. And they kept calling him and he
No
didn't
response.
show up. And one of the teachers from the school went to his home. By this time I'm working for I'm not like a ALT at any school. I'm
Right.
working for a dispatch company.
Right.
So they send me to places. But at that time, the people that they hired, that's why they stopped hiring people directly.
Oh,
Because the
Jesus.
people that they hired were like part of the school staff.
Mm-hmm,
So they went to check in on him and he was dead.
Jesus.
Also, the way the teacher said it to me while we're just cleaning the blackboard, how casual she was about it,
That-
I was like,
Nah,
no way am I
no.
gonna fucking die doing this thing that I barely like doing at all. And like I would say, and I'd already been thinking about it, but within probably 2 weeks after that, I submitted my resignation.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That just sealed it for you.
I
Basically.
already was planning to do it, but it was one of the things that stacked up on hearing that story and having it being told
Yeah.
so
Casually.
casually to me.
Yeah.
Which is fair because she has other shit going on in her life, the teacher. But yeah, it was wild. So ideally, what do you want to do to try to like? Are you trying to build community in Japan, or have you just accepted like when you leave, it's you gotta leave here to get that back?
I don't like. I guess. So for me as well, one of the things I've realized about the nightlife in Tokyo and how foreigners interact, it's almost like it feels like I said it on another platform. It feels like high school, like just the whole the cliques that are formed, and how you have to navigate socially. You can't talk to this person because this person did that, and that's that someone is ex, and you're like, wait, what? And so it feels almost like I'm back in high school, university, and knowing how to navigate certain things in a foreign community.
So yeah, I don't think you still answered my question, which
Okay.
was, so this longing for community, what
Right.
do you see as the
Oh,
resolution to
okay.
it? Building something in Japan or eventually leaving Japan? Or do you not see it as something you can get in Japan?
I think I see it if I get closer to I think if I move closer to Tokyo, there are pockets of Jamaicans and Caribbean people around
Okay.
that I feel that I could connect with and say, hey, come over for Sunday dinner, Monique.
Okay. So that was creep. Monica, I'm so sorry. I didn't know he was gonna creep you out like that. And also I'm not even insinuating because I know you're just people, so I'm not even insinuating like on a sexual level, just on a human level.
That was
very creepy.
Oh, sorry.
But yes, okay.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is, just to recap, because I think I one of the things I want this podcast to do is to have people have something to contrast how they think about their feelings of loneliness against it.
Okay.
So if I can kind of summarize what you say, your feeling is that you have identified the source in your adult life is kind of the being distant from the community you're used to.
Right.
And that you're used to functioning in. And you feel like if you're around more people who are culturally like you, you'll be able to reduce that level of loneliness a bit.
100%.
Do you think that you would need to reach out to them as much to reduce that 90%, or just the idea of having them around would help you reduce it?
Is there a right or wrong answer? I mean,
no, there's not right.
It's
or
like
wrong
I
answer,
feel
just
like a
wondering.
mix.
Okay.
So I mean, message. Hey, what's up? You good? Oh, I just got some that you that like just you know what I mean, like casual conversation. Eventually, if it extends to an invitation, or they say, "Oh, Andre, we're having a barbecue. Come through, potluck, whatever." Cool. They can't do that to me, no, because I mean, like the spontaneous links, which I'm used to back home as well. I can't do that. You have to let me know like a day before or a couple hours before so I can catch the last train to get to Tokyo.
So it's having the option A,
yes,
but also being able to follow.
Being able to follow through. Yeah.
Okay, I see that. All right. Well, I hope if you decide to move to Tokyo, well, you've already decided, so I hope you get to have that, and that does manifest in that way for you.
Nerima.
It's been fantastic. Please, no one come near to where I live. I don't want anyone near to me. And it's also good that you said Nerima, because that's not where I live.
Exactly.
So good. Yeah. Thank you. This is Nakano Studios, people. Nakano Studios. He's improperly identified the location of our studio. RJ, it's been fantastic having you on. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having
Nakano
me.
Studios and chilling. For giving us your top 10 positive things about Japan.
Because I will be posting it on my Instagram. I'm lying.
All right.